Hello and welcome to the second edition of Fraudstermind. I'm Angus Angerson. Tonight we have our second contestant in the Fraudstermind tournament. And your name is?
Andrew Bailey.
Occupation.
I'm the Governor of the Bank of England.
And your specialist subject?
The Financial Conduct Authority.
Mr. Bailey, you'll have 2 minutes to answer correctly as many questions as you can, starting now. Who has published a report titled Asleep at the Wheel, an expose of systemic regulatory failure and consumer detriment, which highlights the regulatory failures in the UK financial services sector during your tenure as CEO of the Financial Conduct Authority?
Gina Miller of the True and Fair Foundation.
Correct. Who was Gina Miller referring to in the report when she commented? His tenure as CEO of the FCA has been characterized by a toxic cocktail of negligence, incompetence, and indifference to the needs of ordinary depositors, investors, and pensioners.
Sajid Javid?
No. The answer was you, Andrew Bailey, then CEO of the Financial Conduct Authority. Which British politician described the Gina Miller report as a damning indictment of failure by the FCA to exercise proper regulatory oversight over conduct within the banking and wider UK financial services system?
Jeremy Corbyn?
No. The answer was Sir Vince Cable. Which failed toxic mini-bond collapsed in 2019, leaving 11,600 retail customers with losses of up to £236 million. Also mentioned in Gina Miller's report, and which the FCA had known about for 4 years.
Blackmore Bond?
No, the answer was London Capital and Finance, currently in administration with Smith and Williamson. How much money was lost at the door of the FCA after the suspension of the M&G, Property and Woodford funds?
Is it around £20,000?
No, the answer was over £1 billion. What did the Bank of England have to say about the report on the multiple failures of the FCA?
No comment.
Correct! That's exactly what the Bank of England said. What is the name of the alliance of which the FCA and TPR are supposedly members, who are supposed to be dealing with these types of fraudulent pension and investment schemes?
The Project Bloom?
Correct. What were the assets worth in the Woodford Equity Income Fund and the M&G Property Fund? So, is that a pass?
Yes, pass.
What was the total amount of life savings of British citizens lost by the investment funds and toxic bonds, which were supposed to be regulated and monitored by the FCA during your tenure there as CEO? And at the end of that round, Mr. Bailey, you scored only 3 points. The total amount of life savings in the M&G Property Fund was, in fact, over £2.5 billion. The Woodford Equity Income Fund had fallen in value from £10 billion to £3.7 billion when it was suspended in June of 2019. London Capital and Finance lost over £236 million, all under your administration.